Hey everyone, welcome back to part two of the summer season on the Always Arsenal show on the same World Arsenal channel. I've got so many things that I have to say to introduce. And I am absolutely delighted to say that I obviously didn't put him off on the first show a few months back because he's come back as promised. Mr. Stuart McFarlane, aka one of Arsenal's photographers. Hello,
Hi,
my lovely.
good to be back. Good to be back.
Yes. Did you like my little M&M?
Yeah,
Look
very
who's
good.
back again.
I'm not a fan of him, but
No, that song was brilliant. Listen, it's weird because we're not in the football season. I've zoned out completely, apart from transfers,
yeah,
which Stuart, if everybody knows me, knows I do not discuss them. I do not like them. I don't even want to think about it until someone's signed. And blow me down, we've signed a few players. So we're going to go through that in a minute. We will. I promise everyone we will get there. But I would love to really start off where we left off. But before we do, I've just got a little bit of an announcement. One of my closest friends got engaged today in Monaco. A boyfriend proposed to her outside a beautiful yacht. So I'm very excited. The only thing is, she's my close friend, so's he. She's Tottenham, he's Arsenal.
oh,
So I did say I'd do a shout out, but I'm going to do a shout out for him. Go, Gary. Go, Gary the Gooner. That's lovely. We're going to have to convert her. So
don't do it. Don't do it.
to my dear friends, Tams and Gary, congratulations. I can't wait to organise the hen week and weekend. Anyway, moving on. Let's go. Um, so, Stuart, we left on. You came on after Palace before Brighton.
Yeah,
We had a nightmare at Palace, but we weren't despondent, you and I, and many
hmm
people in the chat room weren't either. Well, first of all, let me say hello to everybody in the chat room. Thank you for joining us. I know it's out of season, but what a special guest I've got. And please subscribe. Please press like and welcome to the show. And I will get to your questions as soon as I can. Good evening, everybody. Right, let's go back. Crystal Palace. We were like, yeah, we can't wait. Brighton at the Emirates on the Saturday. It's going to be buzzy. We're going to be behind the team. We're just going to do the matches right up to the end of the season. So we're all up for it. We're all supporting the team, and we don't win. So
happens.
it does happen, and it happened again at Southampton the week later. But from your perspective, you're working, okay?
Yeah,
So I'm not sure what sort of things I've asked you already, but I'm going to go back over it because there's probably some people who haven't seen the first show. When we've lost, how do you have to approach players for pictures, or do you not take pictures?
well, there's nothing really after a game, certainly away from home. But at home, they have certain commitments that they have to fulfil, and generally, they don't hide. They always know what they have to do. Like they have to do media stuff after we've lost a game. So I try to keep a bit of a low profile, but I generally don't have much to do. I don't really have much work to do with the players after we lose a game.
Okay, so Brighton. So what happens when the game's over? Are you in the dressing room or are you outside in the communal areas?
No, I will straight after the game. I'll go back to my office and upload my memory cards to my cameras and start to do a quick edit. Obviously, if we've lost a game, the edit is
Mm.
quicker because no one's really interested in the pictures. So it'll be, you know, players applauding the fans because I think the big thing this last season was that the connection between the players and the fans, and I think the club needs to show that obviously the players go over and applaud the fans, win, lose or draw, but I think we need to put it out there and make sure that everyone sees that. So that's if we lose a game, that's what we do. If we win a game, obviously there's a lot more pictures to edit.
Yeah, I suppose so. So Brighton and Southampton we lost, but I think when we came to the Chelsea game, I honestly did not give us a chance in hell. I know people did, but I didn't. I'm always honest with my predictions and things. But wow, what a
Yeah,
night.
but we beat Chelsea quite a lot these days, don't we?
Yeah, but we just lost 3 games, Stu.
Yeah, but
And
I think, look, this is a very young team, a very young team, and I think that performances are going to be up and down. And I went to Chelsea. Honestly, I went to Chelsea thinking, well, we can win this. Play with a bit of freedom, with no pressure, and there was no pressure on us. I don't think in that game, and it's great to go there in a half-empty stadium and beat them. The fans are absolutely incredible that night. It's one of my most enjoyable nights at Stamford Bridge. Fans are
that's what
absolutely incredible.
it looked incredible. I often go to Chelsea away. I couldn't go this time. The actual I can't say the word camaraderie
Mm,
between everybody after losing 3 games, 9 points gone. It would have cemented probably virtually Champions League, but we'll get onto that in a moment. And then we go to Chelsea and Eddie has the game of his life. I'm trying to remember back. I remember
yeah.
what a superb night. The pictures you must have got must have been. Well, I'm going to ask you this. What was your favourite game of the season for pictures?
Uh, it's difficult, There's because it's moments, isn't it? It's not always games. Like Spurs at home was great for a lot of reasons, which I think at some point down the line people will understand.
Yeah.
Wolves at home with whatever people say that was Lacker's goal. That was such an emotional moment for everybody. Scoring the winner in the last couple of minutes was incredible. It's not really about pictures, it's about moments. Because I'm a supporter, I'm a fan like everyone else. If I'm lucky enough to get a great picture of a great moment, that's great. If I get a crap picture of a great moment, that's great. If I get a great picture of a crap moment, then that's not great. So
No.
it's all about emotions for me. But I suppose it's probably Spurs, Chelsea, Wolves, stuff like Wolves away, Villa away. I
Yeah.
think it's the same as every supporter. I think it's those emotional moments. In those emotional moments, you always get good pictures because people, you know, because there are just great connections between the players and the supporters.
It's definitely the season. It started to get stronger and stronger each game. Win, lose or draw, there was an amazing amount of togetherness, I think is the word. I'm not going to use the other one because I can't say it. But I'll tell you what else I loved, and I still love it now, was Louis Dunford's song, North London Forever.
Right.
And what
Yeah.
I felt Arsenal did wrong, because what Arsenal don't realise, weirdly, is not everyone is on social media. For instance, my cousin, who was on a pod a couple of weeks ago, doesn't have a thing on social media. So
Mm.
when we were driving to the game, I'm all excited, can't wait to sing it. He doesn't even know what I'm talking about. I said, Barry, we've got a new song. And he's like, what new song? And there's my point. So I said, well, don't worry. When we get to the Emirates, I'll bet you any money they'll announce it, or they'll put the words on the screen, or we'll have a little pamphlet on our seats. They did nothing, Stu.
No, look, I completely disagree with that. That song that I know Louis, he's a mate of mine. Uh, that was completely started by him and then picked up by the Arsenal fans, generated by the fans, not by the football club whatsoever. There was
But the
nothing.
football club played it, Stu. He
Yeah,
was
we
in a
did. Yeah,
box.
no, we did. No, listen, I know we did, but if you say to the fans, we're going to force an anthem at you, we're going to put the words on the screen. We're going to put. You have to read it. I think it looks so false. This was the most. I've been at the club for a long time, and I've worked on working groups where we try to get an anthem, and everything has always been forced. This is the most natural song that the club has ever, in my lifetime, has ever put out there, and now it is our anthem. Look, we invited Louis because we wanted to play it, but it was low key. It wasn't pushing it down people's throats, and and knowing him as well, he just wanted to be in the background.
Yeah.
And if you really love the song, you'll learn the words. See what happens next season, and the season after, and the season after.
No, I understand that. All I'm saying, and I'd agree, you shouldn't have to go, this is our new anthem, this is it. But they could have just flashed the words up without saying anything, because so many people around me were like this. And I went, don't you know the words? And of course, yeah, by the week after, it grew,
Yeah.
definitely. And I understand what you're saying. I just felt maybe just put the words up. Don't have to say a word.
Yeah, well,
I would have loved, Stu, to see Louis on the pitch. Oh my God, singing the song with us. I would love to see that.
look, it's not something that's only going to get played 2 or 3 times.
No.
I'd like to think this is something that lasts for a long time, and and I know Louis is absolutely blown away by Arsenal playing. He's a massive Arsenal fan.
Yeah, I
You know,
know.
if people know Louis' background and people know his life, you know, he's a great lad. He's one of the most incredible young men I've ever met in my life. You know, we spend quite a bit of time together these days, and it's really knocked him for six, the attention and stuff, and how it's helped his career. But I don't think he would want to, and I would never be the person who'd push him out on the pitch and sing it in front of the
Oh
supporters.
my God, I'd
He,
love
you know,
that.
but he maybe, but I think that he's so wants to be in the background. He's given us the song, which is his own words, and then let us do with it what we want. And you know, I understand what you say about put the words on the screen, and I think there probably were conversations about that. But I think it's more generic. Just let it flow. People know the words now,
Yes,
and
of
let's
course.
see let's see what happens first home game of the season. You know,
Oh, I think,
I walked out on the pitch for that. Was it the Leeds game? Was it the one? And I didn't expect. I walked out in the middle of the pitch when they did the huddle, and I had tears in my eyes because I knew how much it meant to him. And the sound from the crowd was absolutely unbelievable, and it will only get better and better. And we need to stick. We need to stick with it, and we will stick with it as well.
oh, it's our anthem. It's definitely, and it gets everyone going. And I just felt, all right, you don't have to announce it, but just put the words out. It's done, and of course, people now know it, and obviously, it's going to grow. And I know his background because I've watched his mum a lot, and so the minute this got mentioned, I knew who he was, and I know I've met his mum. I know they're all Arsenal, and I watched him when he was in the box, and he looked back, and he had tears in his eyes, and I was like, oh my God, and everything he's
Mm.
been through as well. I know his background quite well, and I'm just over the moon that we've got an anthem that I like. Doesn't matter about anyone else. I love it.
Yeah,
We've got a Gooner who's singing it. It is just incredible. We've waited so long, honestly, so long. I love his music anyway. It made me
yeah,
listen to the rest of his music,
yeah.
which I would not have listened to. And now he's sold out of the Electric Ballroom.
Yeah.
It's fantastic for him.
He's
It
an
really
incredible.
is.
He's an incredible
Yeah.
songwriter, and
Oh, he
you
is.
know, and and he deserves to be a lot bigger than he is, and I'm sure he will be. But what he's done for the football club with that song is unreal, and it was just done. You know, he said to me, he just tweeted it when he was in the pub with his mates. He put it out on Twitter, and then the next morning he woke up and there was like thousands of people retweeting it, saying this has got with the Arsenal anthem. So
Yeah, I heard there was a couple of gooners that put it out there and said, "Look, we want this." He sort of joined in, and it sort of grew. I, I
he put it
did he.
out there. His
He
mates,
put it.
yeah, his mate, he tweeted it, and his mates were saying to him, "Go and do it," and he did it, and then it sort of happened from then onwards. It was a like, as we've said, it's like fate. It's one of those things that happens. You just do it, and then all of a sudden things happen. So it's great. You know, it's brilliant. I love it.
Oh,
I love him to bits. He's such a great lad, and
it,
he deserves all the success he can get from the song and from the football club and the recognition that he's getting.
absolutely, Stu. My dad, I played the song to my dad. He's on social media, but not often. And we sat in his garden. He's 76. We sat in his garden. And remember, he's been around a lot longer than you and I following
Yeah,
Arsenal. And I said, Dad, this is our new song. Listen. and he was quiet. And at the end, he went, "That is good." So I
Yeah.
tweeted Louis, I went, "My 76-year-old lunatic gooner father, if he approves," and Louis tweeted me back, because this is what it's all about. We are in love with that song.
Yeah.
He's a gooner, bang. It's just brilliant. And I've not had a chance to talk to you, but although I do think, Stuart, did it not come out a few days before we had the pod? Because I'm sure I mentioned it, unless I was on under the podcast. But
No,
anyway,
I don't think so. But
okay. I think it was someone else, and we were talking about it.
just one thing about how the song came out. Mikel Arteta picked it up from social media, and so it generated from him. So he was very keen on it being played at the stadium.
Hold on, back up there, Stu. Mikel Arteta's on social media.
Yeah, everyone knows he's on.
But we don't know if it's his tweets or a PR agency doing it or anything.
No, he's like, I don't know. I know that he heard it and wanted it to be played, and I can say that that wasn't done by some marketing person at the football club. That came from him.
I loved what he said. He said, "If the Arsenal fans want it, we try it." I love that. Exactly. I love it. I love it.
Because that's what he wants. Look, I think we said it before, and I got a lot of criticism after the last time we did the pod, which pissed me off a little bit. But he wants the players and the fans to be connected, and he's doing everything he can to do it. People don't believe it; they're wrong. That's all he wants. He wants an atmosphere. He understands what the fans can help, how the fans can help the team.
So I'm going to go back to the pod you were on with me, and after it came out, so obviously we go live, and then anyone can watch it from then on, of course. You got so misquoted. I literally spent the whole day, Stuart.
Yeah.
Not only defending you, first of all saying, don't make out you got this from a news outlet, because this is the Always Arsenal show on the same old Arsenal channel. And this is what you actually said, was that watch these players go for the next 5 to 7 years. And you're saying they're saying it's going to take us 5 to 7 years. And problem is, if people don't listen, they follow these outlets, they follow these people that are probably watching the show tonight to try and get some more quotes out of it. I got no problem with them quoting properly.
Yeah.
And I know you don't respond, but I did respond the next day. And I said to everybody, go listen to it. And a few people did stand up and said, he didn't say that. He said, watch how they progress the next 5. We've got such an exciting team. And the funny thing is, this is live. It's not edited or anything. So it's lazy to just go, oh, he said that. Oh, my God, we've got to wait 7 years. So
yeah.
I was defending you anyway.
Look, it doesn't bother me. I know what I said. You know what I said. You know what I meant.
Yeah.
The club's on the way back. I talked to a lot of fans, a lot of friends of mine who are season ticket holders, and they're so excited about the new season starting. The signings coming in, the sort of freshness of the squad. The liquor paint around the Emirates. People can't wait to get back. And if you're going to criticise me to say we're progressing, and then slagging me off for saying as though we won't win the league for 7 years, then I'm not interested. I'm not going to respond to you and give you a bit of airtime. I can't wait for the start of the season. I can't wait for the games to start. I'm so excited. I'm not saying I'm excited every year, but I look at the squad now and I look at someone like Fabio Vieira and think, my God, I cannot wait to see this guy out on the pitch. It's incredible.
So, okay, I'm just going to go through a few games and then we're going to go to the signings. So Chelsea's amazing. You must have got some amazing pictures because the crowd are going mental. Eddie's scoring for fun. We knock them off the park. It's brilliant, right? We then play United and West Ham and we win.
Mm-hmm.
Leeds, we did win, didn't we, at home? I'm just lost my train of thought there. Yeah, we won at home at Leeds. And now, okay, this is the game that I was speaking about a few weeks before on my podcast, saying I'm worried about Newcastle away. I'm worried about them with their fans at St James's Park on a Monday night. We're not great in that situation. And
Well,
I have to be honest.
you missed Tottenham out, didn't you?
Oh, God, yeah. When did we play them? Was it just before?
Probably about 12 hours before the Premier League
Between
made
Leeds and
it.
Newcastle. Leeds and Newcastle. Sorry, yes, let's not go to Newcastle. Leeds. So we go to Tottenham.
Mhm.
I mean, I know you're not going to comment, but I would, if possible, like to know if it felt like Rob Holding just lost his head. And bizarrely, I've never seen him in that manner.
Look. What's done is done. That's it. We can all complain about VAR, about him getting elbowed in the
Yeah,
face and not getting picked up, and and Rob. I've got my own opinions as a supporter, which I'm not going to share.
no,
But
it's fine.
I just think there are certain nights that things go against you.
Well, the
No,
thing is, they had to win Tottenham. That
yeah,
they had to win, didn't they? We
yeah,
just had to not lose, and obviously didn't.
yeah. Look, it's one of those, isn't it? I mean, it was their cup final,
Yeah,
so good luck to them. It was a bad night for us. It was a bad night for a couple of my friends who got attacked on the way into the stadium. It's a bad night for them as well. So it's a good night for the people who attacked my friends, and it was a good night for Tottenham. But that's it. That's football. That's we lost that game. That's it. That if that's their trophy, that's fine. We won the league there twice. It's fair enough. They beat us in
yeah.
that game. So it
The
doesn't
thing is,
bother me.
it's a shame. It is, but on our pod, we both said we didn't think we'd get Champions League because of the injuries. We said it might just be a step too far. The sad thing is, it was in our hands. And this is what people throw at me all the time. They say, "Aren't you disappointed?" I said, if you asked me at the beginning of the season when I walked out the Etihad that we'd get fifth in
Yeah,
European football back, I'd have prayed on the floor for it. But we were so close. It is what it is, and we are where we are. They're in the Champions League. We've got European football back. We've had some great signings. I feel sad about the Newcastle game, and the weirdest thing was that my hairdresser, who's not into football, was in the same hotel with you all. And the night before, she bumped into all the players and was sending me pictures. I was going to send them to you, actually, Stu, so you could use them.
right.
And she just said to me, everyone was so lovely. She said, even your manager, I don't know his name, she went, even your manager, she went, was so polite. Everyone was so lovely. And I said,
Yeah,
and I think that's what's been brought to the club, that there's no hostility. I'm talking as a fan, Stuart. I'm not
yeah.
in the club, you are. But how I see it is a massive, not only a togetherness on the stadium, in the stands, the team are together. So we win, we lose, and we draw together. But it was sad. And obviously we knew them because Tottenham only had to play Norwich and we had Everton. And it was a wonderful game, Everton at home. You must have got some amazing pictures that day.
It seems that we've got to the last game of the season a few times, even with Arsene, where the atmosphere has been a bit
Yeah,
toxic, and the questions have been: is it like should the players go out and applaud the fans? And my opinion is always go out, go out because you have to applaud them for their support during the season. There wasn't the question of that this time. I know everyone's disappointed, no more than myself after Newcastle. I spoke to a few players and a few of the staff, and everyone was absolutely gutted. But it is what it is. The best thing was to finish strongly, which we did. Scored a few goals, and gave everyone a bit of a party at the end of the season. And I know Newcastle and Newcastle and Spurs weren't forgotten, but I think that was a great day. That was a great day at Emirates, and I think everyone enjoyed it. And we're back into Europe, and that's the main thing. It's small steps. It is small steps, and we've got a young manager who's learning and growing all the time. We haven't got a manager who's at his peak or whatever, or not at all. There's a long way to go with we've got a young manager who's learning. Like Spurs have got a guy who's been there for years at the top, so we will get better and better on and off the pitch as a football club.
absolutely. Couldn't agree more. And I hope your friends are okay that were attacked, because that's the reason I don't go to Spurs, because of a situation that happened to me many years ago, which is so totally unnecessary. But I do have a lot of Spurs friends, and obviously
Me
that
too.
they
I do as well, and they would never. It's just idiots, isn't it?
never.
And all clubs have got them.
Yeah.
It's it shouldn't be happening in this day and age.
It shouldn't, and it stops me going. And I used to love to go to Spurs away, but I was so nervous. I ummed and ahed. I got a ticket in the end, and well, it was offered to me, and then I just said, you know what, I can't do it. I was starting a new job as well a few days later, so I had to take priority in case anything happens. And that's the worst thing. I don't feel like that about any other ground. I went to West Ham away. I went on my own and sat with a couple of Arsenal fans, but I walked around that ground. I've no issues at all. But anyway, so we end up fifth. We're in European football. Amazon obviously didn't get the ending they wanted. That would have been an amazing ending, wouldn't it? Have you seen any of the show?
No, nothing.
Right, so you've
Nothing.
seen what we've seen, just a trailer.
Yeah, nothing. I mean, I've obviously worked alongside certainly the cameramen, and they've been an absolute pleasure to. Some of them are really good friends of mine now, and they're good people. And I honestly haven't seen anything, but I think it'll be really good. I think it'll be really enjoyable.
I'm looking forward to it. I don't care what anyone says. I just feel that there's going to be a lot in there to watch, that's for sure. I mean, you forget that Aubameyang actually played for us last season. There's so many things that I'm looking forward to watching and seeing, and what plays out. And I'm quite active on social media, and I just find it funny that certain people think they know stuff when nobody knows anything. And I think this is going to show the Amazon documentary of what, each week, especially how maybe the players thought of Arteta and what was going on. If you had any brains, you could see the togetherness. You could see that. And we said that on the last show, how much he's bringing to the club and how much I adore him as a manager. I still get absolutely slaughtered by some parts of, the fan base. I don't care, but it is obviously my opinion. So talk to me about your lowest moment as a photographer, as a fan as well, obviously.
What last season or ever?
Yeah, no, just last season. Oh God, ever would be here all night.
Yeah. No, I think wouldn't be here all night. You'd probably say Spurs away, and then Newcastle. They're the obvious ones, aren't they? Because you think you're so close, but then. Like in the Spurs game, you think if Rob hadn't got sent off, then we had a chance.
Yeah.
So it's those, and it's that, But do you know what was interesting? Losing at Spurs at half time, I jumped up into the stands where the Arsenal fans were at half time, went off for a pee, and then loads of fans sort of know who I am, and I think 7 or 8 of them were just like going, "We'll get there, we'll get there." Real positive, really positive stuff. We'll win at Newcastle, blah blah blah. It was really, even though it was I was really down after the game. The positivity from the fans who I spoke to at half time, and we were losing at half time, was a real, not a breath of fresh air, but sort of cemented what I felt. How the supporters had been with the team all season, we win and we lose together, and I think that's what's happening now.
Absolutely, and this is why I, and many others are actually really looking forward to the start of this season. You've got the cynics who are like, "This is his last season." I'm like, I waited for the fixture list to come out. I always look at the weekends. My birthday's the end of July, and we're starting a week later, which is early. And I'm like, I always love it. I get to my birthday, I go, right, football's starting. It's great. If you can't go into this season, of all seasons lately, with a bit of positivity, I give up. I think football's not for you. I do. Because the idea...
Yeah,
John.
I think everyone's entitled to their opinion. You pay your money, you can do what you want, you can say what you want. All I'd say was don't boo the team, don't boo the manager. Say what you want after the game. That's fine. If you don't want a particular player, I mean, I've seen it all my life with players getting booed by the North Bank. We've
Yeah.
seen it all. We've seen it all the time, and it doesn't always finish players off, but we're all in it together. So let's start together and work together. I think the supporters are more important now than they've ever been.
And do you know what? I try and get that through, to people that want to at players on Twitter and put them in tweets where they're calling them out. First of all, I won't respond to any of that. And second of all, I tell them to take me out the tweet or grow up. Because do they honestly think players go on the pitch to lose? I mean, I could be here all night with this. It's just not.
But it's every player of every club. It's not just Arsenal fans.
Of course not.
And as we said before, social media, certainly Twitter, is so poisonous, and people will put something on Twitter just to get attention, just to get noticed. It's not even always their opinion. That's the saddest thing. There's a massive bullying culture on Twitter which needs to get addressed at some point. I get lots of rubbish on mine, and I just don't.
You don't respond, do you?
I just can't be bothered.
No.
And someone wants to come up to me in the street and say it to my face. That's fair enough. I'll give them a bit more respect than that. And a couple of people have, but I don't really mind that. But that's the thing about Twitter. It's brilliant, but it should be fun, and it's not. So I put most of my stuff through Instagram now, and
Yes.
I still get loads of. I had a guy, I couldn't believe it. I mean, I went to Glastonbury Festival last week and put a couple of pictures up, and this guy put a message on my Instagram saying, "I love your pictures, but don't open up a separate account for your Glastonbury pictures. I don't need to see these." So okay, all right. This is what I do. He's not interested in my pictures away from Arsenal. It's like a very strange individual. I didn't block him though. I'll give him the benefit.
No. I'd put honestly, Stuart, I think you're a bit more adult than me. If someone said that to me, I had this conversation with Arsblog a couple of weeks ago on here. When he came on, he gets so much as well. And I said to him, I genuinely don't respond. I don't. But if I do, it's with complete sarcasm and I show him up. That's what I do. But the other day, someone came for me and I just couldn't stop. It was one of those days and I was like, I haven't been on Twitter for a bit. And I just went, do you know what? It's funny. You're an idiot. You're making a fool of yourself. I think it's funny. And the thing is, I don't do it. I mean, I can hand on heart say I don't do anything for attention. And I've got a lot of followers. You don't have to be this one that shows someone up. Or I've said it all along. Again, didn't like your Glastonbury photo. All he had to do was not comment. If you cannot say something nice, shut your mouth.
Yeah, I can't respond. I work for the football club. I can't start.
Of course not.
I can't start digging people out, and I don't. I don't want to. And I don't want. If someone has a go at me, I don't want to have a go back at them.
No.
And then you might get 100 people
jumping
giving that person abuse, and what sort of state of mind would it put that person in? So you've got to be responsible, especially if you've got a large following. So I think I've learnt my lesson a few times.
Well, I don't work for the football club. I've got a little bit of a following, and I won't have anyone bullied or anything. I'll call them out and show them up. And I get people saying to me, "I'd rather stick pins in my ears than watch your podcast." And honestly, I come out with stuff that's quite funny, and I just show them up. They don't come back again. But look, I thought your Glastonbury pictures were great. I wanted to be there, but didn't get a chance to go. It looked amazing. I had some friends there. And you know what? If you're a photographer, and we can move on to this, that's your game. That's your passion. That's your love. Photos. Yeah. You're not only Arsenal. You can take beautiful photos of a sunset or the ocean or anything. And photos are a beautiful way of expressing emotions as well.
Yeah. But I think because my stuff is 90% Arsenal and then 10%, or probably 95% Arsenal and 10% 5% not. So, people have got entitled to their opinions, but when they go back next year, I'll post some more, even more pictures just to wind people up.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I like to do. I took pictures of you on the Emirates. Did you even get to see them?
I did see them, yeah, but I'm just not going to do anything with them.
Well, they're not professional like yours. I'm opposite you in the East End, and
Yeah.
my other half went quick. There's Stu, and I zoomed in, got you taking a picture of someone else. I know I won't pass for a photographer. Right, we're just going to get to some of the listeners because we've been nearly 40 minutes, Stu. We could just chat for ages. Okay, so Jamie Tiller, who is actually a family friend of mine and who's going to be on the show. Young Jamie follows the club everywhere, and his family have, and I've known his family for many, many years. So nice to see you, Jamie. Hope you well. Say hi to everyone. Stuart, what do you know about Fabio Vieira? Come on. So tell me how it happened. Did you know anything? When did you first know he was coming?
No, I didn't know. I didn't know anything. I've got to be honest. I don't really watch any other football other than Arsenal. So I knew his name only because it was Vieira, but I didn't know anything about him. And then I think, was it the day before or 2 days before? I think we said we were signing, and it was nowhere on social media, was it at all?
Nope,
At
of
all.
course not.
But
It's not the Arsenal way.
I spoke to one player who played against him, and he said he's absolutely incredible. He said he played against him internationally. He said we just couldn't get the ball off him. He just said he's absolutely unreal. And this player, I'm not going to say what player, and the player that he said it to me, I've got massive respect for. I thought, well, that's fair enough. And if he's saying he's incredible, then that's fine with me. But I've not. We all looked on YouTube, and it's funny, isn't it? Like, everyone, as soon as his name came out, I think the day before we announced, I think it came out from Portuguese newspaper that we're signing him. Then all of a sudden, he's the greatest thing since sliced bread on social media, wasn't he?
Well, it's just the name alone, isn't it? It's just
Yeah,
the
of
name
course,
alone.
yeah. But I've obviously met him now. He's a lovely lad. English is great. Cannot wait to get started. But I've not seen him play. I've not seen. He's not training at the moment because a lot of the boys come back in staggered time. So, but I'm really, really excited to see him play.
So did you do the photos for it and the promo stuff on that one?
I did his, yeah.
Yeah.
I obviously had a bit of time off, so missed Matt Turner. I wasn't around for him. Was that I think I was at Glastonbury for that, so
Yeah, you
not
were.
around. So, but I've met him. Nice lad, Arsenal fan, which is great.
I actually love Twitter admin. I think I think whoever runs it, he's just like, he's got my sense of humour. It's just
Right.
brilliant what he does, and she, I don't know who it is, but Jamie, thank you. And thank you, Jamie. And yes, we will see you next season as well. So Matty Turner, hold on. Didn't we do another one? Is it Martinez? I can't say his name properly.
Oh yeah, but he's not been around. So
Right.
I don't think he's. Well, I might be wrong, but I don't think he's even been. I mean, I know absolutely nothing about him. Absolutely, probably less than anyone. I've not seen anything. I don't think he. I mean, I've been at Colney a few times. I've not seen him. I think he might have played international football, so he might not be due back.
Right, okay. Stu, I noticed you tweeted something up the other night, and my mate She-War says Stuart's got his passport sorted because we're all worried. We want to see the photos.
No, I haven't. No, I'm not
Oh,
going. I'm not going to Germany.
right.
So fingers crossed, it might come in time for America. So I've been 11 and a half weeks since I applied for my passport, and it's like a lot of people. It's so difficult. They're massively overwhelmed and massively understaffed, I think. I've got one last sort of route to help me out, which I got a phone call today to say that someone's trying to help me. Someone quite high up is trying to help me push. So we'll see, but I'm, obviously desperate to go to the States. If I don't, it's not the end of the world. As long as I get my passport by the time Europa League
Yeah.
starts.
Oh, it's ridiculous, isn't it? I mean, It's weird how this country runs. The minute we're out of COVID, do people not think we want to go away and we need passports and we need flights to run and people at the airports to work? I mean, thousands and thousands of people are needed for these jobs. Oh, that's for another.
The issue with mine was you need to have 6 months left on your passport to travel to the States, and I didn't. So whatever I had to do, I went away with my girlfriend and my little one to Mallorca. And as soon as I got back, this is a holiday that we all needed desperately. Not been abroad for a long time.
Yeah.
As soon as I got back, I applied for my passport. I completely understand that everyone's in the same boat. I don't think I should get preference because there's a lot more deserving people than me who've struggled with COVID who want to have family holidays. You know, if I get mine, I get mine. If I don't, if someone more deserving than me gets the passport, then so be it. You know, I'll get mine in the end. I've done 20 odd years of pre-season tours. If I miss one,
Yeah.
no, that's it.
You're so lovely, you are. But, Stu,
No.
it is for work. It is for work. And hopefully, I think you've waited enough time, 11 and a half weeks. Anyone has. It's like the driving license situation, isn't it?
Yeah.
Same thing. Thank God mine are all in date because...
Yeah, I hope so. Look, if it happens, it happens. I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. If I don't go, I'll be gutted. But then I get some time with my girlfriend and my 3.5-year-old. So,
Yeah.
You know,
whatever will be anyway.
Yeah, of course.
Right, so guys in the chat room, I've probably got Stu for another 15, 20 minutes, and then I'm assuming he'll have to shoot off. So if you want to get any questions in. So today on social media, young Stuart, there was a certain person walking around the Emirates being photographed by someone that shouldn't have been taking a photo, I'm assuming.
Wasn't my picture.
Nope, nothing to do with you. We know that, and I know you can't talk about it, but it does look like a certain Brazilian is coming to join us.
Yeah, look, I saw the stuff. I was at Colney today, so not around. You know, it was one of my friends in my WhatsApp group popped up, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. But you know, I wasn't around. I was covering training today, so I can't really say. I mean, I don't know, to be honest. You know, the good thing about the football club at the moment is people are told what they need to know, and then that's it. So, and that's good because stuff doesn't get leaked. But obviously, that got leaked through, you know, however, I don't know.
Yeah, I know. I have a feeling that there's going to be a little announcement around midday tomorrow. That's what Twitter admin like to do. Like to keep us waiting, does the Arsenal. I think he's going to be worth waiting for. Okay, so Matty Ryan, Vieira, Martinez. There's one other, I think, isn't there? Oh, I'm sorry, I've lost track.
I think that's it so far, isn't it? If you're trying to get me to say Jesus, but I think we've announced. Have you announced 3 so far? So
yeah, by the end of the tomorrow, I'm sure it'll be, as we call him, the resurrection's coming. Jesus. Now it's interesting. I'll talk about this because I can. I know a lot of you know because I talk about them a lot. I've got a hell of a lot of Man City mates. I've got loads. I love them. All different. They're not all friends with each other. So I've got different sections. I cannot tell you how many have said they are gutted he's going and he's a brilliant player. So everyone out there doing all your stats with the fact that Richarlison looks like he's going to that lot, don't worry about it. Just look at what possibly, most definitely looks like it is going to be signing for us. I cannot wait. I just can't wait. And the lovely thing is, and obviously probably pushed it to walls as well, that he's worked with Mikel. They know each other. And what he brings, Stu, is not only his footballing tactics, goal scoring, please God, everything. He brings experience. He brings Champions League experience. He brings Premier League experience. He's for me, was the missing part up front. So if you're talking as a fan, are you excited at the possibility?
I think if you bring any player in who's played Champions League football, who's Premier League ready, and who's can play in multiple positions, then you've got to be excited. Whoever it is.
Absolutely. Oh, you're so diplomatic. Right. Okay. Some questions. Talking out my Arsenal. Hiya. Stuart, how do you compose yourself and take photos instead of celebrating a match winning goal in the dying minutes of a game? When do you celebrate? We asked him this on the last show, but go on, Stu.
Yeah, it's just about it's my job. If I was in the stands, I wouldn't be able to do it without a camera. I'd be as nervous as the person sitting next to me. But this is what I do. My heart does beat a lot faster in those moments, but there's no better moment to photograph a goal than photograph a goal celebration. I don't celebrate in my head, not in my body. And then afterwards, me and Pricey, the other photographer, have a couple of beers in the office and enjoy it. But I get as much enjoyment looking at my pictures as I do from the game if I've got a great picture, and that's what it's all about. For me, it's the whole thing. It's being a fan. It's being a photographer. A few years ago, I used to think of myself as primarily a photographer, but now I'm primarily Arsenal. Arsenal's more important than my being a photographer for me. That's what comes first. I'm just part of the wheel.
Interesting. Thanks for your question. We got another one. House of Arsenal. Does Stuart still get nervous on assignments like shooting new signings due to the huge media attention, or is it business as usual for him?
It's do I get nervous?
Good
I think I'll
question.
get a bit. I think I'll get a bit anxious because I want things to work properly. And when you meet a player for the first time, you want to give a good impression. You want to make them feel welcome at the football club, and you obviously want. A lot of the time, I'm the first port of call when the first thing they do media wise is still photography, and you want to show that you can give them something that they like. So you have to get a great set of pictures to give to them for their social media guys, for their agents, and they immediately, that's the first sort of judge from them really. How good are you? This is what we've given to you. How good is your photography? Is it good enough? Is it better than the guys wherever they've come from before? So I don't get nervous, but because I know what I can do, I just make sure that I do my job properly, functionally, creatively, to give them what they want. And the players, with Fabio Vieira, I sent him the pictures and he came back and he just said these are great, and that's bang, that's me, job done then.
Yeah, no, I agree. Just a quick question for you. How does Cedric get in every photo?
He's keen, isn't he? He's the modern day. He's the modern. We've had a few back in the day. We've had a few. Christopher Ray was classic. He always used to jump into celebrations. But look, I love it. I love it. I love to see a group of players. The worst thing you want is one player celebrating on their own. Cedric's a big team man, big personality, big character, lovely guy. And when I see him running in, I've got a big smile on my face. So I don't begrudge him that.
No, I love him. Bless him. Okay, so I don't know how he says his name. Aaron S.J. DeMello, welcome to the show. Thank you for your question. How many camera batteries and memory cards do you carry around every game?
Oh, this is not a one for the fans, is it? I've got 3 cameras and 6 batteries,
Wow.
2 memory cards in each camera plus 2 spares, so 8. But you never fill them because they've got so much space on them. But yeah,
Is that just in case one of them runs
yeah.
out or doesn't
Memory,
work?
memory cards corrupt after a while, then batteries die. So I'll probably take too much with me. You don't want to get caught in a position where you've not got enough memory cards or your batteries are flat. The most stupid photographers, you turn up with no batteries in your cameras and no memory cards. Hasn't happened to me yet, but the older I get, the more senile I get. I'm sure it'll happen one day down the line.
Oh, don't say that. Oh, right. House of Arsenal. How does Stuart keep player signing shoots fresh and interesting, different for him and them when he does so many?
It's it is a bit of a challenge, but then I think as a department now, our media and comms department, we're getting a little bit more creative. So I'd like to think that I listen to the new people that have started in our social media team. If they've got ideas, I'll try and take it on board. I always think that I can evolve as a photographer. I'm happy to take on any people's ideas and opinions about what I do. I have a set standard of pictures I have to take for every signing, which are a little bit sort of repetitive, but we have to do them for certain things we do at the football club. And then we might get a little bit of creativity at the end of it. The players only sign once, so they only get this set of pictures once. So hopefully they don't get too bored. But it's a sort of standard stand, hands and hips, half turn, half turn. It is a bit boring, but this is the stuff that we need to do for retail and for commercial. So they
Yeah.
are, and the players understand it. They do it all the time. If we have a little bit of fun, it's great. You meet a player for the first time, it's quite tricky to get them laughing or have a joke with them. But that's my job. I find it a bit of a challenge, but I enjoy it because I enjoy people. I enjoy new players and connecting and having trying to get them laughing. And then once you've got a good connection with a player when they on the first day they sign, and then the next time they see you, they've got a smile on their face. So your working relationship with them is started, and starts well.
Absolutely. He just wanted to thank you for answering your question, which is lovely.
Pleasure.
Okay, Jamie's back. Stuart, what is AirPod Albert like as a person and as assistant? What is what are his principles as a key staff member? Do you have a lot to do with him?
Yeah, I'll speak to all the staff. I'm out on the training pitches. Albert's a great guy, great coach, great guy, great sense of humour. I think he worked with the Wales international team, I think, till last year. So yeah, like, he's a good lad. All the staff there are. We've got a couple of young lads who are so full of life. They're great to be around. And we've got Albert and Steve Round, who's Steve Round's been around the houses. Like he's been with England, Aston Villa, Man United. There is a really good mix, and it's they're so ambitious and so full of life. They're great people to be around. Even on a rainy day at Colney, there's nothing but enthusiasm from all the staff.
Okay, brilliant. Nice to know. Lynn Simpson. Hi, Lynn. Welcome back to the show. Stuart, when you see our young players celebrate, knowing how young they are, do they touch your heart more?
Yeah, obviously got a very young 3.5-year-old, but I've got a 22-year-old son who's grown up supporting Arsenal, and now he's older than some of these boys, and I do feel a bit paternal with some of them, especially with the ones I've known for a while, and I suppose in a way I'm sort of more proud to see them get their break and then get in the first team, and and I think we should all feel like. I think all supporters feel like that. You see Emil, you see Bakayo, certainly now with Eddie. I think we should feel proud and really happy. And for me as well, for them to see me sort of being part of their journey is a real privilege for me.
Absolutely. And I feel like the maternals sitting in the stadium stands when they score. And I go, because my son's 19, and I think, oh, my life, if my son was on that pitch, God knows how their parents must feel. And
Yeah.
we do, we need to nurture them and we need to look after them, that's sure. Got a little funny question for you. Um, Aaron S.J. DeMillo's back. Question for Stuart. Do you have a picture of the boss with less than perfect hair, and when can we
No,
see it?
no, never,
He looks
never,
amazing every picture.
never. There's no even Arsene. I don't think I ever had a bad picture of Arsene's hair either, or even George's. George's the most immaculate of the lot, I think.
Oh, was he? Oh, bit with insight there. Carl Stark, Stuart's tip for player to break through to the first team this season.
It's tough, isn't it? It's tough.
Charlie, maybe?
Yeah, maybe China. There's some good players there. There's some good players there, and there's going to be lots of opportunities with Europa League and stuff. I mean, Charlie's Charlie's great. Amari Hutchinson's great. there's a few that are training with the first team now. Marcelo Flores, Zach, or there's a lot of good young players there. There's a lot of good young players. It's difficult. I couldn't pinpoint one.
No, it's exciting that you couldn't pinpoint one. There's like 5 or 6. It's exciting times. Okay, Bougie Man, I hope I've said that right. As a creative myself, I really enjoy your work, Stuart. Keep it up. You are someone I look up to as well. Working, doing the thing you love at the club you love.
Thank you. That's very kind.
Lovely.
Not a question, but very kind.
Right, okay. Another one from Carl Stark. Stuart, what's the atmosphere like in training? Are the players buzzing to be back?
Yeah, look. There's only half the squad back because anyone who played international football has still got some time off. Because I think a lot of the boys finished Europe. What's that competition? Finished like on the 13th or 14th of June, and I think they try and give everyone a month off. So the players report just before we go to America. But there's always the first day back at training. These guys are close, they're friends. They haven't seen each other for a month. So it's like, if you haven't seen one of your best friends for a month, you're going to have a big smile on your face. There's no one who came back who wasn't smiling, who wasn't happy to be there. So atmosphere is great. And this is what they do. I was thinking about it yesterday, actually, at training. Looking at them, do the players ever get bored of playing football? No, they don't, obviously, because that's what they love. Thanks, Patrick. Nations League.
Nations League.
And why would you not have a smile on your face kicking the football around with your mates? Why not?
Absolutely. If we miss and it's exactly, they're close, aren't they? You want to be with your teammates. It's like going to work and having a laugh, isn't it? Whose idea was it to put the club badges on entrances at the training ground? Cameron Brooks.
I'm not sure if that was it's not something but I know the training grounds had a really good refresh in the last year or so, which has been sort of, I presume it's through Mikel and through Edu and Richard Garlick and Vinay. So I couldn't say.
Okay. Lynn, another question. Lynn, Amanda and Stuart, do you think because how young our players are, would you say that this has been a huge part on bringing the fans together? Well, I'll let Stuart answer that first.
I think there's a few things. I think COVID, not watching the teams, has been massive. I think Mikel, I think the young players, and I think being not going to games for a certain amount of time has made people maybe appreciate what they had. But then the team's better now as well. And yes, young players, but people love. Well, I'm not going to say. We all love the young players, but there's some older players that the fans love as well. So it's not necessarily just the young players. I just think it's the whole thing. I think it's a lot of different situations that have come together, and we're at a right point now, and to kickstart again, we go again with a great atmosphere.
Yeah, I know what Lynn's saying. The young players have really, pulled it out the bag, definitely the last couple of seasons, but some of the senior players too as well. I think it's Edu, Mikel, the coaching staff, people like Stuart, the team. And you know what? I'm going to give us fans credit as well, because away fans have always been absolutely superb. And this season have been even more magnificent. I often comment. But us at the Emirates as well, we have really been magnificent as well this season. Fantastic. The atmosphere has been amazing.
It has. I said it to someone recently. Last season was one of my most stressful seasons that I've had for maybe 10, 15 years, I think, because it meant so much, because I felt that it meant so much to the players and it meant so much to the supporters that every single game I wanted to win more than I think I ever had before, because I think the fans and the players deserved it. So I came off the end of the season and I was a physical and mental wreck.
Yeah.
But I think because I'm so looking forward to coming back to Emirates. I think we sold 42,000 tickets for Emirates Cup, and I cannot wait. Normally, I'm just like, oh my Emirates Cup, how dull. But I think the atmosphere at Emirates Cup will be brilliant because I think everyone's so excited to be back.
They are, and a few new signings, or maybe another one tomorrow to talk about, helps that as well. Okay. Are you okay for a few more minutes, or do you need
Yeah,
to
of
shoot
course.
off?
No,
Oh,
no, no problem.
lovely. Thank you. David, hi, David Ziegler. See, this is what I love, Stuart. Let me tell you about David, yeah. David and his wife are from America, travel around all the time, are often in England just to come to the Emirates to watch the Arsenal. And this is what I love about our fan base. And I'm sure all clubs have got fans around the world, but David is a real, true, passionate supporter and watches our pod. Must be about 4:00 in the afternoon there. And this is what I call true fans. Anyway, that was my little big up to David. Has it been a conscious decision to show more of Colney in pics/videos this pre-season?
I think because we had Amazon last season, I think maybe there's more an idea of maybe we can do more, possibly. I don't know. I don't work on that side, but there's not more pictures because I'm there all the time anyway. So there's not more pictures. The videos possibly, but I couldn't really say. But I think we're more open. I think any club who's had Amazon in and the total access have had, I think you look at it and say, actually, there's obviously a bit of mistrust with the media. There's certain stuff that needs to be hidden or not shown. But I think Amazon has probably been a bit of a learning curve, as I'm sure everyone at Man City and Spurs would have said as well. I'm sure they've opened up a little bit more after Amazon have been in. So
Are you going to miss Amazon next year? You're going to miss them
I
all?
miss the guys, and do you know what? It's I might be in the minority, but I was never one to mistrust them because what's the point in them making us look bad? Because they're obviously going to try and do it with another football club. But as personalities, as I said earlier, I've got some good mates there now. And you meet them just through standing at the side of a football pitch, and then you go see them socially and stuff. They're a great bunch, and as I said earlier, I'm really looking forward to it. I think there's going to be some really unique little moments in there that people are going to love. There'd obviously be some embarrassing bits. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's going to be something embarrassing about me in there. But you take
I was
that
going to
sort
say,
of.
you must be in it.
Well, we'll see, won't we? We'll see.
Oh, God. Stu, it's amazing. Honestly, we are all very excited for this season. And I agree with this, hold on, sorry, one of these, John. John just said, fans need something to believe in, and that has changed. We've got something now. We've been a little bit in limbo and, trying to get it right. And it feels like it's coming together. This was the season I said last year when I was on a different podcast that this is the season. I think it, make or break for Arteta is quite dramatic, but I think this is going to be great. I do. I know it's the Arsenal. I know we get upset over things and,
it's not make or break, and I'll probably get really slagged off for that.
oh, don't worry.
And
I know it's not.
As I said before, we've got an incredible manager who's still very young and will improve and will get better. And if I say we're lucky to have him, I think we are, and that's my own personal opinion. That's not a club opinion. People can have a go at me for that. I see him work every day, and I think there's exciting times ahead. And the team is looking good now. And hopefully, if you can sign another couple of players, there's, sky's the limit, really. I think. Honestly, I
with
believe
what we've got. Andy Love wants to know, and I wanted to know this. I forgot to ask you: is David Price the Arsenal photographer? He's not the same guy.
No, he's not. He's not. That's so funny. So I work. David is very close. David and I worked together previously, and he's actually got a couple of letters, David Price, addressed to him at Arsenal, thinking he's David Price, the footballer,
Oh, how funny.
but he's not. Pricey is 43 years old, I think. And David Price is probably in his 60s. But my David Price, he likes to be called Pricey. Pricey's probably a better photographer than David Price, the footballer. But then David Pricey, the photographer, is an incredible footballer, and maybe as good as David Price, the footballer, on his day. I'll leave that with you.
Okay. One quick question for me. Most improved young player, most improved senior player this season.
It's difficult to say, isn't it? I can't. You know, I can't really answer. I can't really answer that. It's not really. I couldn't say. I mean, I've got.
You're going to get quoted, whatever you say.
Yeah, but not saying anything.
No, don't.
Most improved young player, my son, who started to kick a football around 3.5. There we go. Most improved young player.
What does he have on the back of his Arsenal jersey?
He's got, what has he got on this one? He's got Bukayo, because you can't. He's got Saka 7, because for his age you can only fit short names on the back. See, I wanted Odegaard, but couldn't get it on him. So maybe I'll wait for a couple of weeks and see if he signs someone with a short name.
Right, we're going to just do a couple more, then I'll let you go. Bob, is there any other stadiums you loved being at just for the photos you could capture?
I think I said it before. Goodison Park's always been one of my favourites. It's a really tricky ground to work at, but I've been. Everton's a club who I'm a big fan of. Everton as a football club historically. Other than that, 3 Point Lane was good, the old White Hart Lane, but not really. I mean, I love Emirates. I always feel comfortable at Emirates. There's not really, there's comfortable stadiums to work in, like St Mary's is a comfortable stadium, but it's the ones with the big atmospheres, really. Like the old Wembley was great, but there's no place like Highbury and there's no place like Emirates.
No. There's no place like Highbury. Tessie May, I love hearing about the behind-the-scenes stuff. Thanks to Stuart for another great show. Keep up the good work, PK. I think you mean PG, but I get that. Your enthusiasm is infectious. Thank you. I didn't even read that till I put that up. Sorry. I'm just putting them up so we don't miss any. You could still, actually, true, David, you could actually still argue that Saka is the answer to both that you wouldn't answer. Fair enough.
Yeah, you could, but there's a few others as well.
There are, definitely. Lynn, Stuart, you need to come on Amanda's programme more to promote the disbelievers as you see Mikel every day.
Well, I'll just get loads of crap on social media after this, so we'll see.
Do you know what? And I'm gonna let you go now, but it's really interesting because if anyone does quote from this show, just quote exactly what he said. Don't twist it. Don't make it out for an agenda. Stuart's a good guy doing a good job for us. Remember, these pictures are for us as much as the club as well. I've no issue with it, but what happened last time was so misquoted and so not necessary. It wound me up. So I started going on the rampage, Stuart, everywhere I saw it. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. I was like, listen to what he says. But if you haven't hit that like button, why not? If you haven't subscribed, why not? I want to say a massive thank you to all of you in the chat room. You have supported me all season. I started back in January on my own. I'd like to also give a massive thanks to Craig on the Same Old Arsenal channel for giving me this show on his platform. Very nervous every time, but to get guests like Stuart and Alan Smith, Kev Campbell popped on, my dad, everybody, all the guests, and they're all going to come back. Stuart, in another 6 months' time, would you do me the honour of coming back?
Why not? It's been great. Thanks. Honestly, you're doing a great job. It's really enjoyable. I watched all the other ones, so it's been great fun.
Oh, thank you so much. And that really means a lot because, as you know, I don't have any agendas. I don't really care. I'm not on in the, I don't know anything that goes on at the club. I wait for my dad
Nor
or
do I.
Twitter.
Nor do I.
I wait for my dad or Twitter to say we've signed someone, and then I'll go and have a look and go, great job. You've had some lovely comments. Thank you, Stuart. Just send Stuart our love. It's lovely. And you are. It says so gassed for next season. Stu is a legend. Now, gassed means excited, apparently, because I work with young people that tell me all these words.
So do I. I work with young people as well.
You do, don't you? David, we're going to end on this comment. Two lovely people on today. Thank you both for always being who you are, Gooners through and through. And that's all we are. He works for the club. I support the club, pay my season ticket, just like anybody else. Thank you, everyone. I'm off now. I won't be back for a bit. I'm having a bit of a break. I'm exhausted. I've worked solid for nearly 3 years. I'm going on holiday soon. I just need it. And no doubt I'll be wearing all my little bruised banana sun hats and having my bruised banana towel, and all the gooners come and talk to me. And I'll be back probably just before the season starts. I want to say a big thanks to Stuart again. Stuart, I love you. You know that. I could sit and talk to you all night. You're definitely one of us.
No, honestly, thanks for asking me. It's great to come and chat to you again.
I can't say more than thank you enough, and absolutely honoured. Have a wonderful summer, everybody. We're going to be ready for Louis Dunford, North London Forever. The second game of the season, we're back at the Emirates. First, we're on the Crystal Palace. I'll be back before then. But thank you again, Stuart. Always Arsenal. Always Arsenal. Have a wonderful summer, everyone.